Welcome to episode 116, I believe. I might be off my numbers. Anyway, to Law McArthur Live here. I am your host, Tim.
And I'm Sarah.
We're actually recording this live at Law McArthur in the Ford Video Studio.
Yes.
That's what I'm calling it. Anyway, but also we are going to put this as a podcast. So if you'd rather listen to the podcast, you can do that. We do have some images today. So if you're listening to the podcast, you might go over and check out the actual video on YouTube because you'll see some graphics that we're going to show up and everything for this. And I said we're recording this because we want to have time with our family tonight for Halloween. So it will be live for you guys. So it'll be a premiere video. So you can chat along in there. I'll try to be in there tonight. We'll see if I am. I may be bounce in and out. But that allows for Sarah to be with her kids and enjoying it. And they actually are coming over to the house tonight, right?
Yeah, for a little bit.
For a little bit. So
I think plans have changed, though. It's really cold. So
yes,
instead of doing trick-or-treating outside, the mall's doing one.
Yeah.
Anyway. And it's completely inside.
Well, and the church is in the church.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. We were going to go to the church.
Yeah. So they're doing that from 7 to 8:30. Anyway, so you can go ahead and put the comments down there and everything. And if we're in, we'll answer those. If not, we'll try to answer those after it goes live. I get to see those comments. So anyway, but we'll try to pop in there. So this is recorded for this week because of that. Yeah, so there we go. So let's dive in. Don't forget, you can check out the podcast channels and then on here as well. We will do the timestamps later here for those different sections of it, just like we do every week. All right. Other than that, don't forget subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit that like button as well. That really helps out the channel. So, and then, of course, if you want to do even more than that, and you like us a lot, you can become a member. Sarah, you want to tell them about that?
If you'd like to become a member, it's right there beside the subscribe button. It'll show you all the perks that you get, and it's $4.99 a month. If you are an iPhone user, you have to do things differently. You have to go to your web browser. Go up to the top to the little A and big A, click on that, hit desktop browser, and you should be able to see it at that point. So membership, all of our membership content is found under the membership and community tab. Members get a weekly lot walk and a weekly live and some other content. We see it more of a blogging about us and talking about other things, personal lives and such. We post we post updates about our trips to like Vegas. We'll post a picture on our way out, probably a couple on our way there, and then when we get there. So it's more blogging than anything.
Yep. And and sometimes I give I kind of give my opinion some on here, but maybe more on those live streams, on the lot walks. I do a walk and talk with Tim, a couple different areas of the lot where there's not any vehicles, and as I walk through those areas, I talk a little bit. A couple different of those on those. This week for our members, just so you guys know, we probably will not do a member live on Friday. We'll see how things are going. Yeah. But it'd probably be difficult because I don't want to take too much time away from what we're doing and get a chance for you guys to see Vegas a little bit since it's a short trip. But we're going down on Wednesday afternoon actually, and then coming back Friday so we can be back for the weekend to enjoy the weekend with our families. So it's going to be a quick trip down there and back. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Won't be able to chance to go over orders. If we do anything, we do have a Discord as well.
We see our members as a community. Yep. We really enjoy talking to everyone.
Yep. So the only member shout out we're going to do is
Mach-e. He sent our wonderful decorations here. They got to my desk this morning. So there's some spiders, they're cobwebs, and squishy pumpkins. So he'll send some on season or on holiday themed things for us every once in a while. We really appreciate it.
He sent the New Year's glasses last couple of years. Kids like those. Anyway, so yes, so he actually has his own site now. He wasn't asking for this, but he did include his information in here, and it's Fantasia Inc. Yeah. He's got a website, so fantasiainc.com.
I think that was so we knew who it was from.
Yeah, but thank you, Mark. So he's also the one that did send me the Green Bay Packer coat. to keep me warm for those lot walks this winter, and I had to pull it out last week. So yes. Anyway, all right. Thank you very much for that. And also, Snips, I got my mug today, so be drinking out of that for the live stream.
Yep.
For this week's. All right. You got a good dealer moment?
I do.
All right. Let me.
All right. So lately, we haven't been getting good dealer moments sent in to us through email. So I've been getting them off of Maverick Truck Club. This one's from Screwy Louie. Picked up my truck today. Harper Ford, Eureka, California. No BS dealership. Honored price protection. Deposit. Didn't push extend warranty. Chris Arnold is the salesman. Great guy. 37.2 miles a gallon on the trip home. 90% on the highway. Going to take a little getting used to, but he's stoked. So that is sorry, my screen's smaller than it was. Chris Arnold at Eureka or Harper Ford in Eureka, California.
All right. There we go. Cool. All right. So good dealer moment. We're going to be moving on to, actually, is this right here? Yeah. I'm going to go into scheduling notes this week.
All right.
And there's, for this week, we're going to talk a little bit more, not only just what's scheduled for this week, but we're getting real close. We just got information for next month's scheduling, November scheduling for January and some February build dates. So we'll cover those as well during that. So let's just jump into that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started on scheduling information. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about this week's scheduling, which is kind of like last week. It's just they're fulfilling last dealers' allocations that maybe haven't been fulfilled yet. And then we're going to get have information on what's going to start for next month's allocations, which will, I believe, be starting in November 13th, maybe. Yeah, because I believe they're due. So I think November 13th might be. So not next week, but the week after is when they might happen. So we'll keep our eye out. It might be happening next week. And again, we do this weekly, so we'll let you know. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm not sure exactly when production will start and when those will start getting scheduled. Either next week or either next Thursday or the Thursday after. And again, we'll keep you updated for those starting next week again. But we'll get you some information on kind of what some of those constraints and what's not scheduling and everything for each of the models as we go through them. I'll be like a lot of sheets here to go through on this. So first, let's start off, though, by covering some of these terms that we might talk about. So, of course, order banks, that is where you place your orders. For dealers, they'll place all their retail orders and stock orders. And a retail order is a customer placed order, whereas a stock order is an order they place that fulfills their allocation for stock and inventory on their lot. Right. So if they're in a model where they don't have a retail order, then they would make sure they have stock orders in there to fulfill those allocations. So a dealer, and then priority codes are based on part of it's based on the priority. So, on their order. So if it's a retail order, it's going to be a 03 to 19. Stock orders are 20 to 80, that kind of thing. Lower the better. So that's why retail orders are always looked at first. And then the production dates. And then we're going to be scheduling means that they're scheduling those orders for future dates. So they're going to schedule this month or this week for build dates in the future dates, right? They schedule ahead so they're ready to go. They don't just schedule let's schedule these for tomorrow. It's not like that. They got to schedule it well in advance to make sure supplies are there and ready to go. So those production dates are the vehicle dates that they plan to go ahead and schedule those. And then allocations. Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. An order cannot be scheduled for production date without having an allocation. That's just how that works. So a dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank, and the dealer earns allocations from their sales of each model within their region. Just depends on how many you sell. We don't sell a lot of Escapes. We don't get as many Escape allocations. We sell more Explorers and F-150s. We get a lot more of those. So kind of goes that way. So each model has its own allocation system set up for that. Constraints, those are options that may be in short supply or take longer to build. Capacity is the planned production rate for a given motor, trim, or option, that kind of thing. We'll actually show that when we're talking about next month and what it is this week versus what it's going to be next month for Maverick. It is different. Job 1 and Job 2 is the production run within a model year. We know Mustang is wrapping up Job 1. And they're going to start moving to Job 2. Now, doesn't mean if you have an order in there and it's not scheduled for Job 1, doesn't mean that it's gone. They just sometimes they make some different changes to the production or a certain option or something that may change for Job 2 timeline. And then balance out is when they're balancing out a certain option or model altogether. So we know Edge is this is a month that they are going to continue to balance out for the 24 model year Edge and the Edge completely, sunsetting it completely. So there you go. All right, there's that. All right, so let's get in here and start talking about the 24 Mustang. All right, so 24 Mustang, and there's about 1,061 unscheduled orders in the order bank for the Mustang. The order banks are open for the Mustang right now, so keep that in mind. The Mustang, that's cleanup scheduling for Job 1 balance out, as we mentioned. They are scheduling for production weeks December 4th through January 15th. So again, a dealer needs to have an allocation for that. Retail only ordering restrictions are the Night Pony package and the GT Performance package. Those are retail only. Exhausted availability would be the Dark Horse handling package. So there's a very low production. We're going to talk about next month and how that is like 0% here in just a second. So there you go. So there's information for this week on the Mustang. Now, talking about next week, we're just going to put these all into one. So for next month, they are going to be scheduling for the last part of January as well as February production. So they're going to be scheduling from January 22nd, the week of that, to the end of February next month. And then they're going to be retail only ordering. Restrictions will be the Night Pony package and G Performance package. That's not changing for next month. And then also new California's special package has limited availability for next month for those production dates in late January and February. And then also the 100A orders will require the optional 18-inch wheels starting next month. So that's going to be for your Job 2. So there you go. So there's Mustang information on that. So moving on, we do have the 24 model year Escape. This week is not scheduling. By the way, the Escape, there's currently 711 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for Escape. And the order banks are open up for the Escape. Don't forget about that. So if you want to order an Escape. No scheduling this week. For next week, or for next month, I should say, they are going to be scheduling for January and February build dates. So for 2 months right there, January, February production. National controls on ST line is at 37%. That'll be their capacity. And the premium tech package will be 8% right there. And then regional controls on the active is 36%. That's the production rate. And then the hybrids will be 12% there. We hybrid available for stock ordering for next month. So keep that in mind too. So there you go. Nothing else on Escape other than that. There you go. All right. So that is 24 Escape. Moving on, 24 model year Bronco Sport. There's currently 164 unscheduled orders in the order bank for the Bronco Sport. Not that many in there. And the order banks are open up for the Bronco Sport as well. This week is going to be cleanup scheduling. Again, if your dealer has an allocation available, they'll schedule for December build dates, just the weeks of December 4th through December 25th. Limited availability on Badlands, limited availability for the splash guards, and exhaust availability for the convenience package, which is optional on the Big Band and the freewheeling edition. So keep that in mind. Now, for next month, for scheduling, the Bronco Sport is scheduling for production weeks in January and February. So they're going to be scheduling for 2 months. And the only thing limited on here is it says the Big Bend and freewheeling convenience package will be limited to 24%. So that's still not a bad number. Every 1 out of every 4 will have the convenience package. That's not too bad. Also, the freewheeling and black appearance package will be available for stock ordering starting next month. So there you go. So you can start doing that. You might be able to order those now, but for scheduling, I should say, for next month. So there you go. All right, moving on. 24 model year Edge. And there's currently 1,531 unscheduled orders in the order bank. They are not, and I believe the order banks are closed for the 24 Edge because it is discontinuing, and there's no scheduling for this week. So they're not scheduling for this week. Now, for next month, they are doing February balance out production. So they're going to schedule for the finish. So hopefully get those last 1,500 orders scheduled because that is it. It's balancing out for not only for the model year, but for the model completely. This saying here, 400A, 401A, ST has balanced out. ST is not going to schedule. So if you have an unscheduled ST order, it's not going to schedule. You're not going to get it. So hopefully you can find one. Anyway, moving on. 24 model year Ranger. Let me find my sheet on that. There we go. 24 model year Ranger. There's currently 3,553 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The plant is back up and running. So I think it started yesterday. Order banks are open up for the 24 model year Ranger. And it does say in here, we have a tentative agreement with the UAW. MAP is scheduled to restart production on 11/2, and scheduling will resume on 11/30. So there you go. So they're going to start scheduling at the very end of the month. And so, well, you can probably see what the note's going to be for next month's scheduling. Ranger is not going to schedule until the very it says 11/30, but probably won't start happening until the month after that. So no scheduling for the Ranger or Ranger Raptor for next month. So still, there's a lot that they already have scheduled that are going to need to be built, and so they're basically pushing those into those dates. So because of that, no need to schedule for the Ranger. All right, moving on. 23 model year Bronco. According to this, there's currently 9,136 unscheduled Bronco orders in the order bank. Doesn't say a model year, so I assume that's both 23 and 24. Order banks are open up for the 24 model year with the exception of two-door Heritage and Heritage Limited. And it does say in here, we have a tentative agreement with UAW. MAP is scheduled to restart production 11/2, and scheduling will resume on 11/9. So they're gonna next week. We're gonna talk about that because that actually, since that's in here 11/9, that actually does tell you and give you an idea that that's when they're gonna start scheduling for November's production information. We're talking about the end of each one of these. It says any scheduled order cancellations due to plant stoppage and our current capacity will be communicated as soon as possible. So it does say it looks like they're balancing out 23 model year. That's why they're pretty much not scheduling. Shadow Black on non-Raptors is balanced out for 23 model year. It's done. The two-door Heritage and Heritage Limited are not yet available for 24 model year, it says. And the 23 model year Bronco is planned to balance out on 12/22. So that is the last day of production for that. There you go. That's a Bronco. Not quite yet. So let's talk about Bronco for next month. They are going to be scheduling for 24 model year startup for January production dates. So they're going to schedule for January 1st through, it says, February 26th. So they're going to schedule January startup, but also February. Normally they put both dates in there. Stop build is still on the two-door Heritage Limited, and non-Raptor Shadow Black paint is unavailable. So that's even for the 24 model year. So there you go. So I hope you don't want a black non-Bronco or non-Raptor Bronco. There you go. All right, moving on. 24 model year Maverick. Let's get to that. What are we down to on Maverick? So currently Maverick, we have 36,097 unscheduled retail orders. So it looks like to me they got more orders for Maverick in the last week. So that's how many unscheduled we have. Order banks are open up still for the 24 model year Maverick. Plenty of orders they can still take. Again, remember, they are producing about 10,000 units a month. So keep that in mind. Because of that, they could still take more Maverick orders. So they are open. Cleanup scheduling this week. So again, if a dealer has an allocation, they could get scheduled. They are scheduling for production dates in December. So December 4th through the week of December 25th. Limited availability on the splash guards. Should be taking that off anyway. Also, exhausted availability on the automatic continuously variable transmission. That's a transmission for the hybrid. And then it also says 17-inch carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel, which is standard on the XLT. So they're probably looking at this point for this week. Now, again, that's information for this week. They're looking for non-XLT orders more than likely, and non-hybrids. So if you got an EcoBoost, Lariat EcoBoost XL, probably got a good shot. So that's what that reads to me right there. And then for next month, they are scheduling, just like with Bronco Sport, they are scheduling for 2 months. They're scheduling for January and February production dates. And it does say in here, well, this is saying January to February, but yet it does say January production. So I bet you they mean, I bet you these dates in here are incorrect, because I bet you that's supposed to be 1/1 to 1/26. Anyway, so Maverick does say the only note in here for next month is that the hybrid engine will be limited to 40% of November production. So 40% production for January production dates. So that's going to be, we are getting a little bit of hurt on hybrid right there. So it is what it is, right? All right, moving on. 23 and 24 Explorer, it's saying in here. Of course, we know the order banks are closed for the 23 model year, but open for the 24 model year. Currently, 247 unscheduled Explorer retail orders in the order bank. Doesn't say what year, so I assume it's for both. And then it says we have a tentative agreement with UAW. The plant is scheduled to restart production on 11/2. 23 model year Explorer is planned to balance out on 12/22, the same dates as the Bronco. Scheduling for 23 model year is complete, so they are done with scheduling for 23. So if you had a 23 model year order, it went unscheduled, did not get scheduled, put in that 24 model year order. We had orders scheduled through the week of 11/27. Therefore, programming will resume from that date. However, any scheduled order cancellations due to plant stoppage and or current capacity will be communicated as soon as possible. So they're probably trying to figure out how many of those can they still fulfill, and how many they're going to have to cancel. So hold on tight for that. It says, please note, scheduled stock orders with a December build date have the highest probability of cancellation. So they're going to cancel stocks first. So is what will happen before they cancel any retail orders. 24 model year update. We're currently wholesaling 24 model year Explorer volumes for January, February 24 production. And then we will start scheduling 24 model year orders on 11/30. So they are not scheduling for this week, of course, because of that. So there you go. And then for next month, as we mentioned they're going to be scheduling for 24 model year for January startup right there. The regional control and constraint is ST line. They're going to capacity 18%, or ST, I'm sorry, 18%, ST line 8%. And then Platinum 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, ST line and King Ranch must have the trailer tow package on there, option 52T. Limited 300A must delete the trailer tow package 52T. So make sure you don't have those on those orders. And that is for 24 model year information. So there you go. All right. Expedition, 24 model year Expedition. There's currently 1,204 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for that. The order banks are open up for 24 model year. And for this week, it says we have a tentative agreement with UAW. Kentucky Truck Plant is scheduled to restart production at 11/30. Platinum will require optional 22-inch wheel. Platinum will require multi-contoured seat removal to be scheduled for production, and limited 302A will require the sandstone trim. So there you go. It doesn't mention that they're scheduling or not. Oh wait, no, it does say scheduling to restart production on 11/30. So it does sound like they're doing that. So next month for 24 model year Expedition, they will be scheduling for January build dates. Platinum will require 22-inch wheel, and limited 302A will require sandstone trim. They don't mention the multi-contoured seat though, so maybe that'll be back for next year's or for next month. So there you go. All right, 24 model year Super Duty. So currently there are Oh, how do I not have that one? I lost my 24 unscheduled sheet. I think I grabbed it on one of the others. I hope. Either that or I didn't print it off. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't have it here. Give me a second. Let me pull it up real quick. All right. Super Duty. So I didn't schedule that one. Okay. Or I didn't print it. There's currently 25,634 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Super Duty. Order banks are open up still right now. And for this week, here's some notes. It says, say, 24 model year Super Duty update. We have a tentative agreement with UAW. Kentucky Truck Plant is scheduled to restart production on 11/2, and scheduling will resume on 11/9. So no scheduling this week for 24 model year Super Duty. It says to maximize capacity, scheduled orders may be pushed out to January build weeks. So, so some of these are going to get already pushed into what they're going to schedule for next month. It says scheduling production weeks at Ohio assembly plant will be from 11/27 to 12/18. So it does look like they're still scheduling for Ohio. So that's a lot of your chassis cabs are built in Ohio, and F450s and 550s, I believe. It says limit availability for F450, F550, and Lariat. Limit availability for the 7.3 gas, the 18-inch sparkle silver painted cast aluminum wheel that's standard on the XLT F350 single rear wheel. Also, the GBK frame, which is optional on the F350 two-wheel drive with the diesel with the gas. Well, it actually says a 7.3 diesel engine, so I'm not sure. With the 145-inch dually and 145-inch single rear wheel. I want to make a note here and try to contact the brand manager and find out what the actual correct engine is there for that. The Dana rear axle available on the F350, F450 dually pickup with the 6.7 liter engine, F600 dually chassis cab with the 6.7 liter engine as well. Also, the frames available on the F450, 550, and dualies with the 179-inch wheelbase are limited availability. And then the Baja Tan interior as well. Exhaust availability is the 19.5-inch black sidewall tire that's standard on the F600, XL, and XLTs, as well as the tire that's standard on the that's optional on the F600, XL, and XLT. So that really hurts the F600 from getting scheduled. The HBK frame that's optional on the F350 two-wheel drives with the, again, it says 7.3 liter diesel, which that's not true. So I'll make a note and try to get information on that for next week. And the 169-inch wheelbase. Also, the 360-degree dual LED strobes. Those are also exhausted. Heavy-duty alternator that's standard on the XL gas as well, too. So there you go. That's all the information on that. For next month, for Super Duty, it does mention in here, there's a note. We'll get to that in just a second. For Super Duty next month, they are going to be scheduling for January production dates. It does mention here that the 10R140 transmission controlled at 89% of total production. And then the XL 6.8 liter orders needed in order to keep the plant buildable. So you want to make sure if you have that configuration, there you go. Also, with that in mind, customers that placed both a 22 model year and 23 model year Super Duty retail orders that were left unscheduled are eligible for a $6,000 Super Duty model year transition offer. So if you're one of those people, program number 32262. Sorry, got a tickle in my throat there. All right, so there you go. That's pretty cool. Bringing out an offer there. All right, moving on. 24 model year F-150. There is currently 5,178 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for F-150. Order banks are open up for 24 model years, so place those orders. They are scheduling for the week of January 22nd. This is 23 model year is balanced out completely, so they are scheduling for January production or startup for production. There will be no scheduling for Raptor 37, and Raptor 30 and Raptor R. Only scheduling for Raptor base. That's the 801A. So there you go. That's no other constraints on that. And going forward for next month, they are not going to be scheduling for the Raptor 37 or the Raptor R next month either. Those are late availability options, it says in here. So if you're wanting one of those Raptor configurations, you're going to have to wait a little longer. And then they are scheduling for February production dates as well for next month. So no other constraints there. All right. 24 model year F-150 Lightning. I don't know how many unscheduled orders there are. They are scheduling for the week of January 22nd. 23 model year is balanced out. And order banks are open up for 24 model year F-150 Lightning orders. So keep that in mind. And then for next month's production, is there any notes? There's no notes for Lightning. It's not separate. Oh, here. No. No information on Lightning. There you go. All right. Now, let's talk about the 24 model year Mach-E. There are currently only 45 unscheduled retail orders for the Mach-E, but this says 24 model year. So the order banks will open up on 11/2 for the 24 model year Mach-E. They are not scheduling 23, which is crazy. So they need to get those last 45 scheduled. But I would say if you're one of those 45 on 11/2, put in a 24 model year order. So that's coming up Thursday. There you go. While we're on our trip. So we'll see if we get an order guide update for you and any changes on that, but we'll kind of be looking for that as well. So there you go. Maybe a working trip to Vegas. All right. Let's see. And yeah, other than that, that's what we got on that. 24 model year Transit. There are currently 5,833 unscheduled transit orders in the order bank. Now, if you had a 23 that went unscheduled for transit, you need to put in a 24 model year transit order. So don't forget that. So some of you might have forgotten to do that. You'll need to place that order. They don't convert over themselves. You'll need to place your order. So that might be why it's a lower number than what I was expecting. Order banks are open up for 24 model year transit orders. They are scheduling for production week of December 18th. This is cleanup scheduling. So again, a dealership needs an allocation. Limit availability for the 3.5 liter EcoBoost GTDI engine. That's the engine option 99G. The high roof extended passenger van. Also the high roof long passenger van and the low roof passenger van. Also the medium roof passenger van. The high res camera. The Transit Trail package, as well as the AM/FM stereo with a 4-inch multi-function screen. The digital rear view mirror and remote start. Those are all limited availability for the Transit for this week. Now, again, this is the information this week. Now, let's talk about Transit for next week here. We do have a note in here about the Transit. It says Transit Trail. Customers that placed a 23 model year Transit Trail retail order that were serialized and canceled. So you might have had a Transit Trail order and it got a canceled VIN. You're getting a $3,000 model year private offer to move to 24 model year. So it says customers must place a 24 model year Transit Trail retail order that is CVP approved to get that transition offer. There you go. So, they said that they're done with the private offers, but if they can't do what they said they're going to do, they will make sure they take care of their customers. So, anyway, there you go. And then note for next month on the 24 model year Transit, they are going to be scheduling for January production dates. The power slide doors are not available for 24 model year. The 3.5 EcoBoost engine has low availability. Consider removing. And the high res and 360 camera constraints may extend into January. There you go. And then, of course, E-Transit is not wholesaling. Or it says not wholesaling, is not going to be scheduling next month. So if you have an E-Transit, take the month off. You're not going to get scheduled. And then Transit Connect, we're done. No wholesaling because they're done with that. So there you go. There is all the information on that. We do have some regional constraint guides here for next month. Now, these are constraints not for this week, but for next month. Some things to note on Bronco. The capacity is 70%. For January, February, it says for the Hardtop, 70% can be built as a hardtop. That's a high number. Leave those hardtops on. I think you'll be all right. 15% for the two-door. That's still at 15%. That's not changing. The 2.7 liter engine is at 40%. Actually, that might be 45%. Sorry. Wild Track still at 15%. Sasquatch moved from 40 to 35%. Something to take note there. Modular front bumpers at 40%. Lux package is at 40%. That's the high Lux now package. Everglades is at 2.5%. Very low. So if you got an Everglades, hope you're willing to wait. That'd be one of the constraints, maybe. 14% for manual transmission, by the way. And then Raptor's 9%. Heritage Edition is 6%. That'd be the four-door version. Heritage Limited is like 1.5%. And then two-door Heritage Limited is 0%. And the Heritage both are 0%. So they're not going to schedule any. And then 0% for the Shadow Black paint on the non-Raptor. So there you go. Some things to note there. Bronco Sport, the only one we already mentioned, 24% for convenience package. On the Escape, 0% base, 42% active, 37% ST line, and 8% the premium technology package. We already talked about those numbers. It does say for Expedition, 0% for the Platinum without the optional 22-inch wheel, and 0% limited with the mahogany interior. 302A. All right. And then Explorer, they're not going to be scheduling. They have 0% on everything on Explorer. And then F-150, 80% of them will be Super Crew. 20% of them will be non-Super Crew. 80% will be four-wheel drive. And then tonneau covers is only 4%. Very low number. The XLT Black Appearance Package, 10%. Whereas the Black Appearance Package Plus is 3%. 7% Black Lariat Black Appearance Package. 6% the STX Black Appearance Package. That's probably just the STX package. Anyway, let's see what else. 3% Heritage Edition, so very low number there as well. F-150 Lightning, 35% standard range battery, 65% extended range. So that's a breakdown there. 0% Pro, 24% XLT, 40% Flash Edition, 24% Lariat, and 12% Platinum on that. Super Duty, 36% XL, 20% XLT, 33% Lariat, 5 to 7% King Ranch, 6 to 8% Platinum, 2 to 3% Limited. And then your engines, 41% with a 6.7 diesel, standard diesel, 25% with the high output diesel. And then 22% for the gas engine, the 7.3 liter gas. And then 18 to 21% for the 6.8 liter gas engine. 12% chassis cabs, very low number. Also 1% with the tonneau cover. So if you have a Super Duty tonneau cover, take it off. 1% is pretty low. The Pro Trailer Backup Assist, option 52T, is 45%. And then Sport Appearance Package, 6%. Spray and Liner, 30%. Trimmer Off-Road, 8%. So there you go for that. On the Transit Trails, only 2% for that. Maverick Hybrid, 40%. We mentioned that. XL Series, 23%. XLT, almost half, 49%. Lariat, 28% capacity. And then Trailer Tow Hitch, 64%. That'd be with or without a package. If it's in a package as well, it's all of them together. And Splash Guard is 5%. Mustang Night Pony package, including the roof, it says 0%. It says retail only. Now, this must be for stock scheduling or something. The California Special, 2%. So it's very low. It does say 0% for the Dark Horse handling package. So I think there probably is some. Maybe they're just showing that for stock, because it says 50% for the Dark Horse appearance package and 60% for the Dark Horse custom accent hood and painted stripe, and 0% for the Dark Horse carbon fiber wheel, it says. 45% GT, 20% convertible, 5% black or bronze appearance package, 2% the wheel and stripe package. So there goes a breakdown on some of that. 8% Recaro leather seats. Almost missed that one. The Mustang Mach-E, 45% the extended range battery. 15% the select version standard range. 9% the select version standard range all-wheel drive. And then 12% the select version extended range all-wheel drive. And then 17, most all the premiums are right in the teen range there. 17% for the premium standard range rear-wheel drive, 14% for the premium standard range all-wheel drive, 10% for the premium extended range rear-wheel drive, and 23% for the premium extended range all-wheel drive. GT version 0%, 50% for the comfort package light, and there we go. That's a constraints for, and this is for next month, is what we're talking about there, and that's for basically for the whole month. That'll ebb and flow throughout each week. So we'll that's what our weekly live streams are for. But there is a scheduling information for this week. All right, so that's all the scheduling information, and but we'll just jump right in. I have some dealer news updates. There aren't a lot of things from Ford updated this week, except for a couple things that they've been some new things that they have going on through their Ford news. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to actually use some of this to kind of highlight that. So let me go into that. Give me a second. There we go. The dealer news. All right, so this week there's a couple things that just came out, and this first one here, let's jump into it. There we go. So the Blue Oval Charge Network has been expanded. They have added some chargers to this. So the October 23 update says that Ford is growing its Blue Oval Charge Network in North America by 25%, bringing the new network total to more than 106,000 chargers. So it says customers can now access 3 new charging providers, Francis Energy, Blink, and Red E across U.S. and Canada, with embedded charger routing and simple payment options via Ford Pass. So you can use that same card that you have in there. So it says these 3 providers bring more than 10,000 new chargers to the network, including more than 550 new DC fast chargers, which is pretty cool. So there you go. So there's all the ones they have loaded in there. Blink, Francis Energy now, Red E joined the existing providers, which is Shell Recharge Solutions, Electrified America, EV Go, ChargePoint, Flow, EV Connect, and Electric Circuit. So that's pretty cool. So you can kind of see what the existing well, here it goes. It's going to scan. There's new charging stations, and then in spring we'll also have Tesla chargers. So you can see they're going to have the Tesla ones on the charge network as well when they have those in spring of 24. So adding a lot more chargers. So there you go. Still not many in Alaska.
No, look how many are in
Hawaii. Yeah.
But they are a state that is very big on keeping their environment clean, and so they
look at the East Coast.
They probably
yeah, poor old Midwest right here.
No.
Midwest, West. Anyway, so there you go. That's pretty cool information there. And then moving on, should be able to see this one. All right, so yeah, you can see that. So Ford Performance previews parts and appearance packages for the Mustang, Bronco, and Ranger at the SEMA show. So pretty cool. So we're gonna be able to see that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll get that. We're gonna go straight to the Ford booth probably when we get there, and hopefully get you some videos of this stuff tomorrow night. So anyway,
and that's where Jordan started this morning, was Ford booth, and he's making his way through all the Broncos.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's a couple things they're gonna highlight. Ford Performance ORV packages for the Ranger and Bronco. So they're gonna have packages for that, and I'm not gonna cover that too much in this, but because we're going to cover it in that video. But ARB overland suspension kit, ARB front bumper, and even an onboard air compressor as well. Have to check that out. Anyway, and then the Bronco one looked pretty cool. Jordan highlighted that one today in the Bronco Nation video. And then Ford Performance street packages for the Mustang, including the Ford Performance 800S. I assume that stands for street concept package. So Similar to the F-150 Ford Performance 700 package, this is going to deliver 800 horsepower supercharger. So Whipple supercharger. Don't forget your warranty on that. You want to make sure you get that. Whipple's kind of notorious with blowing some things, and so you want to make sure you get your warranties if you can get an extended warranty on those as well. But anyway, there you go. And then even the Bronco and Bronco Sport are going to have some appearance personalizations. I did see a new one for the Bronco Sport. So a blue, like kind of a freewheeling edition, but blue version of it, which I think is really nice. So that one looks pretty cool. So we'll check that out there. And then also some vinyl wraps for the Mustang, Bronco, and an Explorer. So maybe they'll have an Explorer there too. Yeah, there you go.
If that Bronco Sport blue, like the freewheeling in blue, it
has some different shades of blue.
Man,
in it.
They're really wanting to change me over to the Bronco Sport.
Yeah, so there you go.
Anyway, I love Maverick, but
so we'll be checking that out tomorrow, as well as they actually did a separate article on the supercharger itself here about that and the information about that. Again, we'll be covering that tomorrow at SEMA, so be looking for our coverage because this is just revealed today in Vegas.
Okay.
So yeah, so we'll be there tomorrow. We'll get you guys that content tomorrow. And then this next one is on the F-150 Lightning. It's going global. So electric truck now headed to Switzerland. So we're going to have that. Of course, they're already getting, globally, we're going to see the Ranger plug-in hybrid. But now the Lightning is going to Norway. So for those who didn't know, Norway is about 80% or more full EV at this point. So
always been ahead.
They are the country that's more advanced than any of the others at this point. But Europe is going EV.
I think Norway is also where they have the highest paid teachers.
So anyway, but it's kind of a big deal that they're bringing a full-size pickup to Europe because the Ranger has been the biggest Ford pickup there. F-150 isn't there. So to have the Lightning there is kind of a big deal. So there you go. Anyway, they're going global. So that's why they need to add more production there. So there you go. All right. So there's that. All right. So that is our dealer news updates.
All right.
All right. All right. Now we're going to move on to recalls here. All right. So let's get into these recalls for this week. Just a few here. This first one here is an actual update. This is supplement number 3. So update number 3 for safety recall 23S49. This is for the 23 model year F250s and 350s with a 10.5-inch axle shaft. All right. And so on this one here, they updated the parts ordering information, and that's pretty much all they did. So for those of you who don't remember, there's 41,468 vehicles affected by this recall. And letters went out October 16th, the week of October 16th, this last month. Or this month, I guess, since we're at the end. It says, don't forget on these, the left rear axle shaft was manufactured without the proper completion of a heat treatment process, which may cause the left rear axle shaft to break. So anyway, so this in here, now they've updated the parts so that hopefully they can get more of those taken care of there. So there you go. All right. The next recall is a mission recall 22E02. This is an update number 1, supplement number 1 to this. This is on 22 model year Super Duties with a 6.7 liter engine. So if you remember on this one, I covered it not that long ago, I believe. This here is an update. They updated the part requirement, the labor allowance, the technical information as well. The software fix is now available, and they're reopening some VINs, but there's about 33,874 vehicles affected by this recall out of Ohio and Kentucky. And if you remember, this is the one that the affected vehicles did not have the particulate matter sensor installed from the assembly plant due to component supply shortage. Now that PM sensors are available, customers will be mailed letters. So these letters are going out the week of December 4th for this one here. So there you go. And now we have actual information to get this fixed, which is awesome. So again, this isn't a new recall, just an update to a current recall. All right, this next one is Customer Satisfaction Program 23B24. This is for certain 22 model year Super Duties and 23 model year F-150s with the tailgate step. So it says that there's 44,745 vehicles affected by this recall, mostly on a Super Duty from the Kentucky truck plant. Ohio was not affected by this. And then even the electric vehicles were affected by this on the F-150, 23 model year F-150, as well as Kansas City and Dearborn plants. So yours could be affected by this. So in some of the affected vehicles, the customer may notice looseness or increased play in the tailgate step, the grab handle, when it is upright position, in the upright position. So it says the tailgate step grab handle may not fully engage the handle locking mechanism when the handle is in the upright position and may release when pulled. So you definitely want to get this fixed if you use that often. So it does say that letters will be mailed out November 13th, the week of November 13th to owners for that. So you'll definitely want to make sure you get that taken care of there. So usually when there's letters going out, that means they know the fix, and then they have availability parts for that as well. All right, so this next one is Customer Satisfaction Program 23B 42. And this is on 23 model year Explorer, Bronco, Rangers equipped with a 2.3 liter gas engine. So this in here is coming out. This is an early, I believe, an advance notice of this. Maybe not. Anyway, this is for Rangers, Broncos, and Explorers. There's only 131 vehicles were affected by this recall. So not that many. And it says the reason for this recall: in the affected vehicles, a damaged tool used during the engine block casting process may lead to the formation of a crack in the right side of the engine block assembly that can result in a coolant leak. Customers may experience a progressive series of symptoms, including a low coolant pressure, which could lead to a coolant leak that would be visible beneath the engine, and finally may result in an illuminated service engine soon indicator for an engine overheat condition. So there you go. So this letters are going to be mailed out to those 131 people the week of November 13th for that. There you go. All right. Now, this one is an advance notice. This is for a compliance recall 23C35. This is a new recall for 2020 to 2023 model year Mustangs. So 186,934 vehicles are affected by this recall. There you go. So it says the affected vehicles may not conform to the requirements specified by the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard. It says brake system warning indicators. When the brake fluid is depleted from the reservoir, the brake system warning indicator lamp does not illuminate like it should. So there you go. It says do not demonstrate these vehicles, and we don't have notification of when those are going to go out yet. So because we need instructions and parts availability and ordering, when it's available, then they'll go out. So again, this is an advance notice for dealers. So customers come in with this complaint, they have an idea of what it is. So we'll get information more on that recall, hopefully in the near future, on the fix and everything for that one. So there you go. So only one new recall. The others are updates to recalls and such, and information updates for the dealers to be able to fix these. So there you go. So that's all recalls, and again, a lot of those were advanced dealer news update and some other things, some updates with some supplements to some updates to some of those recalls, but really only one new one there. But there you go. There's those recalls.
Real quick, we forgot to talk about merch.
Oh, well,
do it at the end.
We'll do it at the end.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and I didn't talk about the different videos we have coming live either, so I skipped over that. Kind of got excited to jump into things. All right. So we're going to talk about our Is It True for this week. So here we go. So is it true that the F-150 Lightning, the E-Transit, and the Escape are being discontinued in the near future? So I'm throwing that out there, and I know we know Escape. We've heard some rumors that Escape's being discontinued, but the Lightning and E-Transit has not been. But I found some things that might enlighten us to this. And again, I'm not saying this is happening.
Right. This is all speculation.
Yes, I'm going to give you
based on our assumptions and our
information that I've seen.
yes, information that we have seen,
So,
we have looked at.
yep. I'm going to pull this up on my phone as we do this, and because I actually have it to where I can actually read it a little bit better. So let me show you this here.
But it's all presumption
Yep.
that based on things that we have read and
Yep.
looked at.
So with the UAW contract and everything agreement, this came out on Monday as something but Ford is throwing out there is that not only are they, going to be going forward with the UAW and everything else, but they're going to invest even more into the plants and include, it says $8.1 billion in investment by the end of the agreement with the UAW. So let's go through some of these. So Chicago Assembly, $400 million investment. Current Explorer will continue, including hybrid and police. Aviator will continue through its product life cycle. That's keywords there we're going to see later. Through its life cycle. So Dearborn Truck and Rev Center, that's where they make the F-150. It says $900 million investment. F-150 will continue, including hybrid and Raptor. F-150 Lightning will continue through its product life cycle. Again, we're seeing that product life cycle again there, meaning that there is not a, like the F-150, there's no end there. It does also say the all-new EV truck will be added as well, a new EV truck. So that sounds like to me, Lightning's going away for a new EV truck. So
things popping up.
Yeah. Flat Rock Assembly, $50 million investment, and Mustang will continue. Pending program approval, new product will be added, it says. So that's exciting. So a new product will be added. And typically when they have one of the, just like Bronco and Ranger at the same place, because they're on the same chassis, we see that a lot. So the question is there going to be something put on a Mustang platform and chassis? Guess we'll see. Only time will tell. Kansas City Assembly, it's $1 billion investment. F-150 will continue, including hybrid and police. So that's where they make the police cars there. And then Transit will continue as well. That's where they make, I believe, the passenger van. And then the Transit EV will continue through its planned product life cycle. So they're saying that the Transit EV, the E-Transit, could be discontinued as well.
Through its life cycle.
Yes. All right. Kentucky Truck Plant, $750 million investment. Super Duty will continue. Expedition will continue, including hybrid. Navigator will continue, including hybrid. So we're getting a hybrid Expedition. We know that now.
They probably didn't expect the public to really
dive into this
and dive into it.
Yeah, this probably wasn't supposed to get out there. Anyway, it is. So now we have this information, which we've had a speculation all along, but now we know. Louisville Assembly, $1.2 billion investment. Escape will continue, again, through its planned product life cycle. Corsair will continue through its planned product life cycle, and an all-new EV product will be added. So you can tell those, and when they word it that way, that means those are going away, but a new EV is coming in. And if it's made at that plant, maybe that means it's going to be more of a smaller EV where it's in that better price range, in my opinion. All right, Michigan Assembly, including integral stamping and assembly, $250 million investment. Current Ranger will continue, including Raptor. Current Bronco will continue, including Raptor. Third production crew will be added. So we're getting a third crew here. So more production for Bronco and Ranger. This is exciting news. Stamping for Mustang, Bronco, including Raptor, Ranger, including Raptor, F-150, Expedition, Navigator, and Super Duty will continue, and stamping for Escape, Corsair will continue through its planned life cycle. Again, we see that coming up again there. So, and then on the second half over here that you're seeing on the image is we do have Buffalo Stamping, $80 million investment there. It says stampings for Edge and Nautilus will continue through their planned product life cycle. And that is a product we do know is ending. Mm-hmm. So that's not surprising. Nautilus is moving over to, was it China, right? I think so. Stampings for the all-new EV will be added. So we're getting an EV in that plant. We think that's a third row SUV, EV, and a lot of people are saying it's the Explorer. I don't know, because I've been told that we're not going to have the same as a model already there. So I don't think they're just going to bring the third row Explorer EV from Europe over to this. I think that we'll see a different one, but I don't know for sure. Stampings for Super Duty, Expedition, Navigator, E-Series, and medium truck will continue there as well. And then Chicago stamping, $30 million investment. Stampings for Explorer, Transit, Super Duty will continue. Stampings for Aviator will continue through its planned life cycle. Dearborn stamping, $150 million investment. Stamping for F-150, Expedition, Navigator, Bronco, and Super Duty will continue. Stampings for Lightning will continue again through its planned life cycle. Stampings for the new EV at Rev Center. Dearborn Diversity Manufacturing, $150 million investment. And okay, it goes on. I mentioned some others, but I think that's pretty much the gist of it. Also, Woodhaven, they're adding $150 million investment there too, with stamping for several models as well. So there you go. So
planned life cycle.
So there's some future there that we can as some nuggets, and that's how people speculate on these things, and then things come about as things like this, where they kind of dive into this and look at that closer. And
they probably put it out there, after the UAW, agreements were finalized, and they're like, okay, this is what we agreed upon. And this is some things that hadn't made public yet, but this is what we've agreed upon and promised.
And they want to show the future of what's coming.
Right.
We're going to invest in the UAW.
Yeah.
Even more.
So it got out. It's put out there as a way of like, hey, this is what we've offered.
Yep.
This is what we agreed upon, and they probably don't expect people to read into it fully, because some of that's jargon that you would have to be a Ford dealer, someone that reads through Ford memos a lot, and you would have to know some of that background knowledge to kind of get what's going on in some of that text.
Yeah. Yep. So there you go. Some future stuff there, some nuggets there that we can get out of that. So anyway, all right. So for this week, I thought we'd have a fun trick or treat on our mind here. And we'll kind of let's throw this up there, and then we'll get into it.
Every time we record and the music's left on, I say this. This is why we don't do music in the evenings. I dance too much.
All right. So what I want to do for this week is talk about. Let's throw this up here. Excuse me. Let's talk about the Maverick for a second. And all right, right here. Yes, add that. There we go. For the Maverick for a second. So a trick to getting maybe a Maverick, and the treat as well. Kind of throw them. They're kind of the same thing. Anyway, so if you're looking out there, there are probably going to be some. In fact, we have several that are coming available right now. Some 2023 Mavericks, and you might be out there going, you know what? These dealers are going over MSRP on these. Why are they doing that? Why don't they just go MSRP? Well, here's some things to look at and think about. And that is, if you built that as a 24 model year, what would that be? What would it cost? So here's an example we actually have on our website right now that came available. I think you guys can see that screen, right? Yeah, there you go. Okay. So it is a 2023 Ford Maverick XLT hybrid with nothing added to it. So I actually pulled up the window sticker earlier, and we have ours marked 2,500 over MSRP. So that is with our markup over that. I think MSRP was it's 2,500, so it'd be 26,430 is the actual MSRP on this vehicle. With our markup of 2,500 over, you're 28,930, and that's true markup. That's with no products. We could throw in products and say, hey, we're going to get a free ceramic for this or whatever. We don't do that. That's true markup. This is what, we're transparent. This is what we do. Now let's go over here and let's build out a 24 model year just for kicks here. So you can kind of see what's a 24, because if you put in an order right now, so most of the 23s that are coming are going to be sold ones, unless somebody doesn't take it, like what's happened with that particular one. Yeah. Otherwise you need to put in an order for 24, and you're probably going to need to wait. The first 24s have actually shipped out of Hermosillo. They are on their way to a lot of the dealers. It'll probably be late December before they show up. So you're probably, if you're lucky, you could get scheduled for a January build date. You might see yours in February. So you can wait till February and get this pricing. So this is an XLT hybrid. We added nothing to it. Let's go down to here because we need to take out this 645 for the lease thing. So you're 29,410. So that right there is what do we figure, about $500?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 500. So it's $500 more than what a 23 would be. So you can get a 23 even with the markup of 2,500, and you could buy it now. You could be driving one and save yourself $500 than waiting on a 24.
Yep.
And I know you can say, well, I get a 24 this way. Well, that's true. Again, you need to wait. You have to wait and everything.
Yeah,
Get yours,
I know some people are all about having the newest model year. They, or I don't want a late 23 because that's basically a 24, but I don't get the 23 trade-in price when I go to trade it in because it's going to have da 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 da.
Yep. Because it doesn't matter when you bought it within the model year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they'd rather have an early 24. My opinion, I'd want a late 23 because I'm going to have fewer miles if I go to trade it in than some of the 23s that were purchased in December.
Yep. Now, for a fact, we actually looked up because we were going to lower our price. So we were like, hey, well, let's just see what a used 23 Maverick hybrid XLT. Let's see what they're going for right now, and they're still going for over 30 grand. They're being marked up about most. If you were to trade in a 23 XLT hybrid right now, it's going for about 5 grand more than sticker as a trade in. So we looked up one that was at the auction. This is at the auction. This is not at a dealer. This was a vehicle at an auction, and it had a sticker price of right around 26, and it was going for 30,000, almost 31. So if that goes to show you anything, I did see a Reddit thread the other day that actually showed somebody that was asking about a vehicle in Florida. And I said, hey, they were saying they're asking for over MSRP. They have a lot of vehicles in stock showing on their website and such. And then I asked them, I said, hey, I'm curious, how much over MSRP were they asking for it? They were $6,700 over MSRP. Now that's probably too high. So there's the trick, maybe.
Yeah.
But if you could find one, I think it looks like to me about 3,500 or 3 grand is about what they raised the price. So again, if I were to buy a new one, a 24, it'd be 29.3. So if you could find one at 3 grand or less, then if you found one for about 3 grand or less, then you're probably a pretty good deal. So anywhere around 3 grand or less, probably a good deal. If you're finding a dealer that's going like 6 grand more or whatever, then that's probably too high. Then you may want to maybe walk away, maybe order a 24 at that point, because they're getting pretty close to getting those done. As you can see with their scheduling notes, we talked about they're scheduling for 2 months here coming up. So that means a lot of the ones that are left unscheduled, I mean, if they schedule for 2 months, then we're talking 20,000, vehicles there that are going to probably get scheduled or pretty close to that. So that's not going to leave that many left. So there you go. That kind of, that's something to think about there for a second. So Sarah's giving away pumpkins. She's giving kids treats. See, there you go. Trick or treat. So, all right. So, but that's kind of what I had on that. So that's something to think about. So, paying over MSRP could be the treat for you, as long as it's not too much over MSRP. I still, like I said, I think 3 grand or less, pretty good deal. Now, EcoBoost is a different story. I think getting MSRP on an EcoBoost is probably where you need to be. Yeah. I think we have ours priced 1,000 over right now, but probably willing to negotiate. Most of ours are Lariat, so we might even come down a little bit more than that here if we don't have them. Those just became available, so if they become available, they're here next week. They'll probably go to MSRP. But anyway, there you go. But yeah, there you go. Now, whether this works on other models, maybe not as much, as these, but you're going to see that some of the other models as well. When you're carrying over one model year to the next, typically you say, hey, they want to move the 23s to make room for the 24s, so they're going to be cheaper. They should be lower in price. Maverick maybe not be one of those. I mean, typically, a 23 versus 24, yes, there should be worth more in trade-in 6 months. The 24 should be worth more than a 23, but as we're noticing at the auctions, the 23s are still bringing a lot of money. So the market's still there for those. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I had.
Okay. Well, merch.
Yep.
Don't forget we have merch. I'm currently working on new designs. So if you have anything that you would like to see, or any suggestions, let me know, or products that you would like to see some of our stuff on, let us know. Yep. We are up to suggestions. I'm working on a different design for our catchphrase.
Yep.
So, and then videos.
Yep. So we just finished out the 24 escape videos as of yesterday. Yep. And then, of course, tonight we'll have this live stream going. And then we'll have some videos from SEMA starting tomorrow night for a couple nights. And then we'll probably even I got a Bronco off-rodeo video that I needed to get live today. And I haven't done. So I might have that go live at first thing in the morning. So you might look for that video. So maybe have that go live in the morning. And then, we've got some other videos coming. Maybe a Bronco sport video. We'll see. I can't stay too much longer tonight. But we have a Black Diamond off-road package that nobody's really done a video out on that we have here now. And so I want to get a video on that before we leave. Yeah. So
I will say, as meetup, if you'd like to meet us in Vegas, I don't know how much time we'll have.
I don't know. We'll pretty much be doing video content and such till about 7 p.m. So if it's one of those things you want to meet up for drinks or something, we could do that. So contact us, email us.
Sarah Davis at lawmacarthur.com.
Yeah. If you're going to be in the Vegas area.
We're up to meeting anyone that's up to it. If not, we'll enjoy Vegas and
yeah. We will try to do that. So there you go. All right. I think that's all we have for tonight. Hope you guys have a great Halloween. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Be nice to those trick-or-treaters.
Will's riding a dinosaur, and Theo is a dinosaur.
All right. So here's a question for you guys as we leave on this. How many of you, I want to know by the votes. Well, I guess we won't have voting. I would like to know how many of you eat your kids' candy when they go to sleep. What about you?
No.
You go through their candy and go, oh, they won't like that.
Some of it, I'm not into big. I'm not.
When you guys were younger, I probably did. Yeah. But when you got older and you knew, like some of you guys knew, hey, where's that? I was missing that. I'm like, I don't know.
See, I'm not big into candy though. Even as a kid, my candy lasted all the way to the next year, to the next Halloween.
And that's the other question is, how much candy do you let them have each night? So remember,
1 piece.
What was it when you guys?
I think it was like 2 pieces.
Yeah, we kept it
because it's fun size, so it's not like a huge big piece. We got 2 pieces. For Will, we do 1 piece, 1 sucker, or 1 piece of candy.
Yep.
So and his actually, we still have candy from last Halloween, so time to get rid of that and bring in a new inventory.
We were looking through and cleaning because you guys are coming over, and so we found these little peeps from last Christmas that we didn't put out for Christmas. And she looked at the date. She goes, "Huh, that's still good till next year. We'll save that for this Christmas."
So what I'm hearing is
the dates are still good. It says 24. Anyway, all right. Well, you guys have a great Halloween. Don't forget, stay positive, be kind to one another,
and be kind to yourselves.
And we'll see you guys later.